pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First business, I'd like to open the meeting of the Advent Town Council. Council meets regularly to conduct business on behalf of the citizens of Advent Indian, here for various departments as part of their activities. Public is invited to attend as an observer of the council meeting and on occasion allow input towards a particular subject. Please council adopt the rules of order. No one shall speak unless they're recognized by the council president. Once recognized, the speaker shall stand, state their name, state their purpose. When addressing council, speakers should remain on the subject of discussion and not introduce any other new subject for further discussion. No profanity or vulgarity will be allowed by the council in session. Those allowed to speak from the gallery will be permitted to speak 3 minutes. First time 2 minutes, the second time 1 minute. Last, the matter of the current subject. The council by statute has a final authority in all matters. This session is to conduct the meeting in such a manner as they deem necessary to maintain or to proceed. The resident would like to discuss a new concern. The request to speak card must be completed by Thursday, Wednesday prior to the council meeting. Form received at that date, please on the following month's agenda. The council can take reasonable steps to maintain order in the meeting, including remove any person who's publicly disrupted during the meeting. That's Indiana code. Cause problems, Linda, you start trouble again. You're out here.
When you gonna throw me out?
Never. Good work. Tina, you're up.
Perfect. I'm Tina Henderson. I'm with Mendenhall Associates. I'm a grant administrator. I was contacted by Linda Randall. She's the co-director of the Advanced Fire Department, and then also runs the food pantry for your community. And to make a long story short, it is the desire of the food pantry to expand and also create a community center for the town of Advance. And they would like to go after a feasibility grant from the Community Development Block Grant. The grant is $20,000. The local match that will be required is $4,000. That local match will pay a certified grant administrator for the administration. And then there's an application fee of $1,500 for $5,500 is what is going to be out of pocket. Linda's here with me tonight, and I'm not sure, Linda, if you would like to talk a little bit about how you plan to come up with that $5,500.
We have set aside $15,000 in the savings account at the North Savings State Bank at this time, specifically for building projects.
Perfect. So at this time, it's not asking for any money to service the local match from the town of Advance.
No.
It's only asking for the town to service the lead applicant, because to go after CDBG grant, you have to be a city, town, or county, and the town would be the lead applicant. The timeline for this, just so you know what the time would be, it's gonna move fairly quickly, because I'm gonna try to meet the first round, and those dates were just set out today, so it's perfect timing. Town board approval today, and then I would initiate a contract for my services with the food bank. And then we would start in January with procurement for the architect and planning firm. Selection would take place in February. Those proposals will be due from the architect. It's not going to be a proposal where they state how much that proposal is going to be. It's only you can only select them based on the qualifications. We'll hold one public hearing in February. March 1st, 2026 is the deadline to submit that proposal, and the award announcements will take place in June. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
I do, just because I would like to touch base, so I know what my role and what I need to do in this
Your role is
process.
to write the checks and.
I know, but I also we'll have to maintain all documents for audit purposes, so I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing.
Sure. And then I would like to talk to you, Chair, too, about the comprehensive master plan too, and just kind of my guidance on getting you guys moving forward in that direction as well. But tonight, we're just focused on moving forward with a feasibility study. This feasibility study will determine the location, the size, the cost. We'll also have a pro forma involved, and it will really walk the pantry and the fire department through several different options of exploring community centers / food.
So can I get a motion to approve the town board to move forward with this project? We did it last month?
We did it.
Can I do it again?
We already did a motion last month.
We did it last month, so we're good.
Oh, so you're good?
And
Okay,
I
well,
just want to make sure Tina knew that we did it.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So we're
well,
gonna go. What's next?
I will be reaching out to Sherry so she and I can talk about this timeline, what I'll need from her, and then she'll now get a chat about that comprehensive plan.
Yep. Is there anything else from us? Linda, you got anything to say?
I would just appreciate being included in these talks and discussions that you might have with Sherry. Just like I told you today when I spoke with you on the phone, this is all new to me. I have no idea how any of this works. So I'm depending on Sherry and you to kind of guide me through as to what I need to be doing.
Okay.
Linda, it's not gonna be hard.
It's really not, it's just, on my end, I just have to be very diligent with my paperwork.
And I understand that, just like you said, for the audit purposes.
Sure.
I will definitely include you, Linda, when I set up a meeting with
It'd be
Sherry,
wonderful.
or I'll at least provide you notes of what we discussed so that you have that as well.
And that would be great, even if I may just sit there and just listen. I have no problem with that. Thank you.
This is a large learning curve. You will really feel like you have a handle on it after we've completed it.
That, you know what, that's the truth.
Which is interesting as a retired school teacher.
Yeah, it's just a lot to take in. And then, I always encourage communities, once they get done with one CDBG, just go back in so you stay familiar with the process, because if it's been a while, which it has, they're familiar with CDBG, but we'll all be learning together. So
Thank
feel
you.
free to ask questions, and that's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Tina.
Okay, one question is, one of the pieces of property we're talking about for matching funds would be the fire department property. What requirements do we have to do? Can you send me an email saying what we have to do to make sure that fire department's property that they fully own can be used for that matching funds? You don't-
What
you don't
I'd like to
just-
do is just hold off on that thought, because we need to get through the plan
Okay,
and make sure we evaluate, as part of the planning, we'll be looking at the best location for that. Even though that's probably the best location and is the alternative that will take, we do have to look at some other alternatives, even if there's no other alternative.
there's no Indians buried there.
So I don't want to get the cart before the horse. So if we can, once we start tailing towards the end of this planning, is when I'll start sending you the steps.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're done, we're ready to go on the next one.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you, Tina. You're welcome.
A little over 5 minutes, Tina, but you're, well, we'll do that.
Excuse me?
It's a little over 5 minutes, but we won't.
Hey, I tried. Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andrea Kern. I'm the new CEO of the Boone Economic Development Corporation, and I've been in the role since April of last year, so just a little bit of time. Just a little bit about me. Before I came to the Boone ADC, I worked at the Office of Community and Rural Affairs, which managed the CDBG program for 8 years. And I ran the Indiana Main Street program and a couple other grants through the program. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And then I have on here our team right now. We are also currently hiring for one position, but Shelby Farthing is our Director of Strategy and Innovation, and Kate Ferris is our Operations Manager as well. So if you're not familiar with the Boone ADC, a little bit about what we do is that a big chunk of what we do is respond to proposals for new or expanding businesses. Also work with all of our municipalities and businesses from inception through their entire life cycle. We organize educational events. This one is really important to me for our investors, our elected officials, employers, and the community. And we also just trying to make a better quality of life for all residents of Boone County. So one thing that, as we've been growing, second fastest growing county in Indiana, that's been important to me is to make sure that we're not just attracting new businesses, but that we're also investing in our existing businesses. So our new position that is open is our Director of Business Engagement and Partnerships that will be focused on our business retention and expansion strategy, which is going into those businesses, talking to them about how it's going so that they're less likely to hear from a neighbor or somebody from out of state that says, hey, we've got a great, we'd love to have you in our community. And they say, we've never heard from anybody in Boone County before, let's just go to North Carolina or wherever else. So that is a key goal for us in 2026 as well. On page 3, I included just a snapshot of our leads tracker. The one thing, of course, you can review this in your packet, and I'm happy to answer any questions about it. But the one thing I like to point out here is that in last year, the Boone EDC received 23 leads directly to our office. A lead that we received directly to our office is much more likely to actually turn into a business that wants to either expand or come to Boone County for the first time. And so 23 leads in 2025 means that we had one of those at least every other week. So that shows you just kind of the bulk of our time is spent on those attraction, working on those leads as well. So just also included on page 4 are major attraction projects and expansion projects. We added over 1,300 new jobs in 2025. And the one thing I want to point out too on this is that the Boone EDC only incentivizes projects that pay above the county average wage. So right now the county average wage is $26.70. And we're shooting for our target would be a 30% above the county average. So what that does, especially for communities like Advance, is that even if the job isn't, locating here, it's that we're providing opportunities for residents of Advance to have higher than the county average wage. So all of these companies were above the county average last year. Our BRE, I would just like to, also invite you to our behind the scenes tours. We try to do 8 to 10 a year. And these are a great opportunity to look at our existing businesses and see all of the things that are either made here or done here. It's just a really neat opportunity. We had a lot of really good ones last year as well. Under our quality of life, so this is just kind of emphasizing that we're not just that traditional economic development arm, but I would say, especially with my background and my strong suit is really in that community development space and more focused on quality of life initiatives. So while these are the projects that we did in 2025, I envision that we'll continue to do these in 2026 and beyond as well. So we finally wrapped up our 180 in color and our 180 the buildings and structures program as well. And that helped pay for the advanced mural that we did here as well. So that's been a great, just kind of adding to the quality of life for all residents across the county too. An initiative that was started before I got here, but is one that I am really excited to continue playing a part in, is the Boone County Early Learning Coalition, which is about to file their formal 501c3 as well. And this is our role in that group is to take our same business retention and expansion attraction strategy to childcare. So we are currently working with 3 providers to help find locations for them within the county, try to liaison between some of our businesses that may be willing to buy seats for their employees as an attraction strategy for a higher skilled workforce, so that we can get, if you've read the news at all lately, childcare is certainly suffering from the reduction in childcare vouchers And it's not a good time for them to be expanding. And so we're trying to make Boone County a place where they can still say, yes, we can expand there. One thing, I had a conversation with another elected official in a different community this morning. And one thing that makes it especially difficult is that we don't have a lot of existing buildings that are available. And that automatically brings costs down in a lot of ways. So right now, a lot of these childcare providers are looking at building brand new buildings, which brings the cost up, and that only gets translated to families right now, which is, as somebody with a 5-year-old, it's especially burdensome. And so it's near and dear to me, and I think we'll be continuing that so that we can kind of drive down that large gap that we have. In 2025, we also continued our microloan program. We were able to loan 2 small businesses, Pure Life Chiropractic in Zionsville and Rolling Dough Pizza Company in Advance, a loan for them to be able to do some of the renovations or buy equipment for their building. These are extremely low interest, and what's nice about those is that the businesses, when they do pay them, it's a revolving loan fund. So the interest that they're paying helps a future small business owner out, which is one reason why both of these wanted to loan from us and not maybe just a traditional bank. So that's a little bit about what we did in 2025. It was definitely a very busy year for us, and I'm excited for 2026. Some things that we have on the horizon. We are currently in the finalizing our 3-year strategic plan for the Boone EDC. We just actually kicked it off, so we'll finalize it before the end of the year, which is exciting to have a direction as somebody who's very plan focused. We will be doing a retail gap analysis for each municipality in Boone County that kind of shows where your surplus and leakages are and how we can kind of create a plan for what businesses we should be trying to attract to all of our municipalities. We also continue to work on career apprenticeship work with all 3 school districts. So with the new diploma requirements, there's going to be a lot more stress on our school districts to connect students to work opportunities, work-based learning opportunities. And so the Boone EDC will be working with the chamber to make that connection and try to make it easier on our businesses so that they're not being talked to by lots of different people at all different school districts, but that they have one place that they can kind of filter out those great high quality opportunities for our students as well. And so I just want to say thank you for your partnership in 2025 as well, and we hope that you'll be able to continue that in 2026.
Now it's my turn.
Okay.
State of Advance. Advance is the only utility in Boone County that has a solar, the only one. We have engineering studies in water, sewer and electric. Water's in good shape with future growth of the master plan. We've had a master plan in place since 2008 for water. One that since 2018, I think, for sewer.
Yeah.
So we have a master plan that goes from State Road 32 to 74. We're applying for a grant to increase the size of our fund. So we're not just sitting there waiting for people to come to us. We've got plans to increase everything. Anybody who's working on a 5-year plan to upgrade the electric system.
Yes.
That's not true. It's more like a 2-year plan. We're already starting at 200 south to upgrade the system, which should be, that part of the system, 25% should be done within 30 to 45 days. And we're working on the rest of it within the next couple of years. We have a new system we're talking about using. We'll analyze and help predict failures in the grid. In other words, if we have a transformer that's a little crazy, they'll know that before the people lose power. Smart engineering, new business, smart engineering, what Fast Incorporated, or it's not smart engineering, smart manufacturing. They make airport equipment and farm products. In other words, the sprayers for airports. I don't know if you know who, this is Dale, he runs the company. Our local restaurant, Joe Mold, is one of the best in the county.
Yes.
Also, a new Growing Dough Pizza is open, has fantastic pizza.
Yeah.
Anybody seen there doesn't bitch. Every business lot in town is being bid on for new businesses. We have future plans for housing additions with medium income housing, 70 homes. We got a place up here that I talked to the people that own the property and said, they don't have any plans to develop it right now, but if somebody come in and want to buy it and take it over, they wouldn't be opposed to it.
Okay. I need to know about those opportunities,
That's what
especially,
I'm saying to you.
yeah.
You should ask her, she would have known. If I had been there, I would have told you.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's on the northeast side of town.
Yeah.
And we're also with those houses, we've also got a permit to build tiny houses so we can,
I know,
low-income and older
I
families,
did know that, she did tell me.
low-income families and small, families and old people who want to move from the big house to a smaller place, we're set up for that. Our food pantry provides food for 60 to 80 people per month, so not people, families. Our police department has the lowest crime rate in Boone County. Randy, you just went through what? Maybe let's get this one.
Six runs,
6 months, what do you do? You're gonna have to work on it. Well,
I know. We're stuck on 6, I can't figure it out.
when he took over, it was like somewhere between 50 and 60 a month calls to 911. Now, and with his efforts, that's changed dramatically. So we don't have crime. I saw tonight where they were, in Zionsville, were chasing a couple of bank robbers. One of the reserve deputies on a weekly basis checks on all the handicapped and older people in the town. So we just don't let people sit in their houses and die. We check on, make sure they're okay. The only problem we have is speeders and police working with that. Safety issues, they got new radar, things, signs on the streets, and we're in public education. We all matters working on a program. This is an after-school program for kids on Mondays and Fridays. We're using code enforcement to in private public life. You know, one thing we don't have, and you should know this, we can't get it. We've tried. Guess what that is?
What?
Natural gas. We're the only community we can't then have. Why do we have it? Can you help us?
I can certainly try.
We tried Vector and they just, but, and Centerpoint bought them out, so I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's natural gas right at 74 in Jamestown.
Yeah, we can.
And there's natural gas in Thorntown, there's natural gas in Lebanon.
Okay.
And when I look at the IMPA sends me, because I'm an IMPA commissioner, send me a list of businesses that are located in Indiana. One of the things I ask for power, water, and natural gas. If we don't have natural gas, we're out of the picture already. So even if we want to build a building, we don't have any natural gas.
Yeah.
So I need natural gas back. So now you went to state of advances. We're
I
here.
love it.
We're doing the right thing.
Yep.
And we work pretty hard, even the cost of utilities and admins as low as we can make them. The water and sewer are dictated to us by federal grants, but electric is pretty doggone cheap. We're somewhere around 15 to 18% cheaper than our Boone Power, and about 25% cheaper in Purdue.
Yeah.
We have a GED program.
And we have we have GED program that graduated, what, 10 or 15 already?
We got about 12, and then we're working really hard with Eric. We're working with some autistic kids. We have some retired special ed teachers that are working with kids.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for, what, 5 or 6 years, right? All this stuff we've been working on, so we're not just
Right.
sitting here and not doing anything. But the problem is there's only 2 problems, time and money. We don't have any money, so we gotta take the time to do it right the first time.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
But we need some help. Economic development's what we need.
Yeah.
And they gave me a micro loan. It was great. We appreciate it. So,
Give me some natural gas and we'll build some
I
houses.
wish I could just like wave my magic wand
here
and
we go.
us around all of the infrastructure in Boone County, it is, it's a challenge everywhere.
Understand, but we're not the problems of the Leaf District.
Yeah.
We've got our own problems here, and the number one problem right now is natural gas.
Yeah.
And we're working on electric, working on electric grid. We've been promised by Duke that they're going to increase the line stats from a substation at Gravel Wells. Once they do that, the cost of, they'll be bringing to us higher voltage. If they give us higher voltage, we'll have to pay less for the power that we buy. And then with the higher voltage lines going out there, we'll have less line loss. So we should be able to keep the costs completely down.
Yep.
I'm a ratepayer, Dale, all of us are ratepayers.
Right.
We don't want to pay anymore.
Right.
So we are very conservative, very diligent about everything we do and double check it and try to keep the cost down on anything we do. We don't just jump in we're not going to build a lit district nowadays. If you come to me with a data center, I'm going to say go away.
Hey, I would just say that we turn people away too.
Yep.
So we know that there are things that are not attractive to our municipalities. And I tell those people, I wish you the best of luck, and this is not the right thing for us to spend our resources and our time on.
Yeah.
So,
Well, one thing is in IFA, they talked about these data centers, that they'll come in and you'll build the infrastructure, power infrastructure and stuff like that. There's 2 things can happen. The technology can change, the demand that they need, and it doesn't need as much power. Well, you build all this,
Right.
put a big transformers in, you don't need it. Then the other thing is, they just blow up the roots of the leaf.
Right.
They can just empty their buildings, and all these buildings are almost modular, where you can just
massive.
pull them out and gone.
Yep.
So, Empress says, if you want the infrastructure, you pay for it upfront. You buy the transformer, you buy all the stuff.
Yes,
We'll run the line, so you pay for the line. So, but even at that, we don't want that, because the problem that they're having right now, Whitewater Valley is doing everything they can to meet the grid requirements, and it's not gonna be enough.
yeah,
They wanted 1,000 megawatts in that leak district. There's not 1,000 megawatts to be had. It came to Whitewater Valley, Duke, INPA, AES, and all the other big power generating companies, and said, we need this, and they said, we can't do it. And they said, well, what can you do? They said, well, maybe 200 megawatts in 5 years. They said, no, we need them in 2. It's ain't gonna happen. There's too many requirements for the grid and the network that one of these groups you have to jump through to get before you can even build a plant.
Yeah.
And right now, the best thing to do is build the nuclear power plants, but even at that, unless they cut down regulations on, that's a problem. All this stuff is regulated, you just can't do it quickly.
Right.
So, I'm done.
That's, I really appreciate
Give me
that.
some natural gas to make me happy.
What Jen's saying is we are worth the investment, we can sell.
Absolutely.
If you give me some natural gas, the thing is between 74 and 32, there are 3 major farmers and a Granville school that uses 30,000 gallons of LP. And most of the people in Athens would probably go to natural gas if they could get it because it's so much cheaper than LP.
yeah.
So, just
Yeah.
give me some natural gas.
I hear you loud and clear.
I'll just keep saying until somebody says, when they start building the lines, I'll make shut up, but not now. Okay,
No, thank
and one of the other things we had was when we did the rolling dough pizza, sure you're gonna address that situation with him, I think.
Yeah, we had a difficulty, I think you're aware of, with the county getting funds from them. It took us 3 months. And it was already approved by the commissioners and the county
Yeah.
council. But we also had difficulty even, when we, with NPO, when they uploaded it, because they were, Nick was incorrectly advised of what to submit, so it delayed payment from them as well. So all around, we had a lot of difficulty, with that process.
I just would want to say that we received no money, the Boone EDC, no administration fee, and the layers that the state built into that. I managed grants for 8 years, federal grants, and I couldn't, when I got into this role, could not believe the amount of layers in the
And
complications.
it's changed all the time.
And you're right.
And I told the council, I said, I did it gladly to help Kyle out, but I would never do that thing again.
Absolutely.
I would
agree with you.
not, because it was a nightmare for my office.
Yeah, and it was for ours.
And for a business owner, I mean, it was
It was
crazy.
bad for Nick and everybody else, so yeah,
It
I
was.
agree. We've definitely shared that feedback with the IEDC. If, you know, if an opportunity ever comes up like that again, it would be worth telling your legislature, because they ultimately made the decision that those funds should go to the Economic Development Office and not to offices that manage grants. So I really would say, like, the IEDC is not set up to manage grants.
No.
And so there are many agencies within state government that are. But, and we will be there saying that, yeah.
That's one of the problems with everything anymore, there are too many regulations
Yeah.
between, in other words, if you have $100,000 to spend, you're gonna spend $80,000 just to get through regulations.
Yeah.
Right, well, you know, you build a building.
Well, it doesn't have to be that complicated. I mean, right, you know, I manage grants and like, there's not fraud typically happening. You know, I actually never saw a case where that happened. And, you know, one person overseeing the grant, we didn't have 3 people in another consulting company managing our grants. So there was definitely too much oversight.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta move on, because we got 9.
Sorry,
We got 9 bids we gotta open for.
Okay.
Maybe crossing grant.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the agreement
Motion for the agreement with the.
for $4,000.
For the $4,000, for the $1,000.
Dale just made a motion. For the agreement with,
EDC.
Oh, okay.
All fair say aye. Okay,
Okay,
so,
so let me have you, and for you to sign these.
yep,
Okay, so I just need your signature there. And I have 2 copies, so we can both have an original. So when you get your attestation done, and send one back to us, that would be great.
Yep.
So I will.
here we go, let's keep moving.
All right, hang on.
We don't like to spend a lot of time here, so Debbie.
I get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay. Sure, go ahead and start opening bids.
And thank you, Andrea, for being here.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me.
We've got 9 bids for our community process project. I'm gonna put these in order of list real quick. Start with this one. That's all start with that. That's the first one on the list. And several of these contractors have already done work for us, but
Yeah, what,
community crossing.
nothing getting bid has. No. Jeff, we said 5. And they did, Roar, have a good deal in it. This, the first one is All-Star Paving, the total bid amount is $178,503.90.
The total,
$178,503.90.
bringing in 503.
500 or, yes, you send me one.
Do they have it broken down? Does Gary have it broken down here too, and the alternates on these as well?
I don't think you bid on them.
This was in millings, get back, and then recycled material. So Ash Street to Baltimore.
Yeah, I used to go.
So that portion was 27,690.65. It says the HMA surface deduct per ton was $10. And disposing of millings was deduct 2,000, and this is for All-Star. So that's 2,000. And then $10 per ton. I'm trying to see if I can.
Gotta talk to Gary about that.
And then so Cherry Street to the dead end, that portion alone, that wasn't the total big cost. That portion was $178,503.90.
Right.
So. Gary said there should be I'm gonna make sure. He said there should be a document 96. Total bid.
Yeah, 206, 190, 94.50.
Okay. So the total bid price, for All-Star Paving was $206,194.55.
What was the 178?
That was just to do Cherry Street. That was just for that site.
The next, they include sidewalks on Cherry Street, and no sidewalks on State Street. Okay, the total bid for that one is $184,452.50.
Who is that?
Let me see the breakdown.
Who?
That would be.
This is for Baumgartner, I got them in order.
Previous,
Straight
previous
down.
owner before. They were pretty.
Okay, so from Cherry Street to Dead End for Baumgartner is $157,232.50. From Ash to, they don't have this building. They only have the one street. No, let's see. See if it's going, oh, there it is, okay, I'm sorry. From Ash Street, or Ash Street Wall to Oak is $27,220 even. Disposal of millings locally, $2,500. And HMA surface deduct per ton is $10 as well.
I talked to Gary, talked about, and had him bid, but disposal will be within 5 months. Within 5 months, I had bids.
Don't they just reuse that stuff?
Well,
Don't they just reuse that stuff, right away?
we can do that, but it's not a good idea.
Next is Calumet Civil Contractors.
Oh, who's the total on that?
Let me have it up. Looks like $184,452.50. That's for both segments.
Sorry, let me pull that.
$184,452.50. Okay, this is from Calumet.
Okay, Cherry Street to Dead End is $156,311.79. A Street is $26,688.21.
26,688.21. Okay, so let me,
Disposal millings, and $4 a ton.
$1,840. And deduct per ton, looks like $8 per ton.
Okay.
So the total for, that number is 63179 plus 1266821 is 183,800. That's DC.
So what do we invest in?
They did East Wall Street.
Okay, certified today is 172, 570.
$72,570. From Ashwald Oak is $36,135. I'll add that up in a minute. Disposal of millings is $1,500. And deduct per ton is $20. So let me add up. So 570 plus $208,000. $208,705. This is Andy. Wow, okay, for Cherry Street to dead end is $525. Ash to Oak, $30,275. And I'll add that disposal of millings.
2,500.
Oh, I got a sheet this morning. I need to put this back to this one. I don't want to get my documents mixed up.
You got that? Yeah.
I want to get my
Yeah, they're for, you big things.
Okay. So we need to. So 2,500 disposal of millings and deduct per ton was 10. So their total bid. $324,800. Next is Howard Companies. Yeah, for that.
And you get that kind of, yeah.
Is it?
I got nothing, just trying to get the code started. Yeah, like that. What are we talking about? And it's short. Alright. 166.
So, yeah, Cherry to dead end, $166,300.25. Ash to Oak, $28,000. 942.75.
You say 20 or 28?
What do you?
$28,942.75. Disposal of millings, no change with the NA. And deduct per ton was $12.50. Okay, so let me add that one up. 195,243.
What was it?
195,243.
Have we already done something?
I don't think so. I think they did before. Midwest Paving is who just did our last. $200,804.84 for Cherry to dead end. Ash to Oak, $37,264.84. I'll add that up and then we'll see the deduct on the next page.
Wait a second.
That's okay. Okay, so for disposal of millings is $3,700. And deduct per ton is 10. And I'll add those up real quick. We might get those. I know, right, because I couldn't, who pays back in the tank? 3764. Okay. $238,069.68. That's for Midwest. Next is Milestone. There it is. Okay, Cherry to dead end is $228,335. Ash Oak, $35,460 even. Disposable millings, none, and then what was the price per ton? And then $16 deduct per ton. That was Milestone. Last is Reeve Riley. I'm saying that right.
They do a good job.
Did I have, is that last, did I have Milestone?
No.
Hang on, let me have Milestone real quick. Jim, I'm sorry. 35 plus 16. $263,795 even. Okay, and then Reeve Riley, for Cherry Street to dead end is $147,115 even. Ash to Oak, $32,215. Oh, okay. They have no bid for the millings, and then what was the deduct? $15 per ton. Okay, so we'll have them up. So their total bid was $179,330 even.
Who was that?
That was for
Reeve
Friday,
Riley.
they are out of Lafayette.
It's a Reeve Riley has a very good ranking. Very good.
So what Gary said, in his message is that, I have to ship all these because he's still in Florida. I'm going to send all these down to him. And he said, just the council take it under advisement. I did verify with NDOT today that, as long as we have a contractor secured at our next meeting, we're okay. So I verified that. So if we take it under advisement, Gary will make his
So
recommendation.
Gary will look at them, and that's the thing, the recommendation he makes, because he deals with these people all the time. And he knows who the good guys and who the bad guys are.
Well, he does background checks.
Sure, more than that, there's, you know, sometimes they have issues. They're not showing up in background checks. Yeah.
Customer referrals, or
Right.
customer,
Yeah.
Good question. So once you secure the bid and everything, and then they come back after it's all over, so they need more money, they can't do that, right?
Nope,
Good to me.
in the story, contract's a contract, this is it.
That's a good deal.
Unless we make a change in the contract,
unless a change order has to happen.
if we issue a change order, which there's a possibility when you're doing that stuff, there's a possibility of a change order. We should not have to worry about a change order, because Gary should have covered everything in the bid process.
Gary's very thorough.
Yes.
Jim, there's somebody that's watching online who wanted to know if it would be beneficial if we found somewhere to get rid of the millions.
We don't, we find out anything.
Yeah,
I know where to put them.
there's somebody in town here that's interested,
I know,
so. I don't know if we're talking to the same people, but they want to.
well, they want like 300 tons of milk, so they just want them to do their driveway. They're
No,
not-
this is somebody from, that works for Co-Alliance, wanted to know if they wanted,
We'll see what,
if that would help the bids.
once we get the, we'll change the bid at all. But Gary put them all in within 5 miles of the advance, so if we do within 5 miles of the advance and they want the millings, we might sell them.
Well, I thought the company after they took the millings and reused it, you know, resold it and stuff.
We reuse most of the millings for different purposes.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of millings sitting at the sewer plant, we got a bunch of millings sitting, stored at, Smart Manufacturing. So depending on what we need and what we have, we just have to see where they go. But they shouldn't go very far, we should keep them in the community if we can.
All right.
Tell them, be patient, once we get the bid, we'll talk. And the thing is, once we have the bid, then we can be with the contractor that's gonna do the work, then we tell them where to put the millings at that time. That's what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Well, they're watching, so they should have heard me say that.
Hope they heard us. Well, we'll let them know, okay? And the bid should be approved by the next board meeting, and within about 30 or 60 days after that, we'll have a contractor's meeting that, they'll want to know all the details, you know, with the engineer, when they're gonna start, when they're gonna finish, what they're gonna do, to and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna go on this here.
I just gotta get to here.
And meeting, can I get approval for the meeting minutes of the,
Make a
December
motion to
8th
approve
meeting?
the meeting minutes from February 2025 and the special meeting minutes from December 22nd, 2025.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Now we consider claims for,
January 12th.
I make a motion to accept the claims for last month.
Claims for, January 12th was $106,426.57. We just need one paper.
We need to quit spending so much money, Sharon.
No.
I just talked about who approved it, are you ready? All in favor?
Aye.
Reconciliations.
So reconciliation for December, the reconciled balance was $2,191,779.11, and the fund balance is the same. So, here it is.
Can I get a motion to approve it?
No, we don't need a motion now, just a resolution.
And then we'll come on.
Oh, we got two.
Okay. Next should be clerk treasurer's update.
Any questions regarding the fund or appropriation reports? The adjustments for the month, we already approved the sewer credits and the over 10-year write-offs. So the total of all adjustments done, find that last page, was negative $8,432.83.
That's what most of that was from the ones we've been collecting, the trash. Because it's over 10 years old.
Make a motion to accept the adjustments.
All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Okay, we got adjustments for,
Yeah, no, we just need to sign it because they're already there. So we have the fire department, the sewer credits, and then the write-offs. And then CU does not sign that.
you know, that's saying,
I put a big note on one of those, because he got a sewer credit. Tracks, uploads are beginning, we just normally don't see anything because of the turnaround indoor until around March. And then we got heavy trash day set, and it's the last Saturday in April, I believe that's the 25th. We try to always set that up, in conjunction with the Boone County Solid Waste on the same day, so everybody can do everything at the same time, and it is the 25th.
okay,
And then
that would be put on the,
it's gonna be in the newsletters, and we talked to, Zach at Smith's, and he said it's the same as it's been every year, so we'll put notice of that. We have a meeting set to order, or we book the sales rep utility supply, we have that meeting set today on the 20th.
that's what we're, to do major, right?
We are. That's all I have.
Okay, next up is the park.
Christmas came, Christmas went, the tree went up, and it's coming down on the 13th. We have 8 banners for next year on Main Street, increase of 50%, 100% that.
Yeah.
So we moved up. We're gonna have to talk to Smart Manufacturing because the way that they were put up and the way they're made, their screws were falling out
Well,
and
yeah, I don't know who, somebody took all the clamps down. I don't know who did that, got rid of them. I don't know why the clamps were took off of them.
But we'll figure out what we're gonna do next year, and make sure that they stay and, that they're done right. We may, talk to another town and see how they've, dealt with it. But since we don't have a street department, it's pretty much on us to take care of them. So we want to do that. Caroling about town, cold, but was, able to brighten a few, folks up, when they did the caroling. But I hope the town was impressed with the tree. Hopefully we can do the same thing, again next year. It was a great looking tree and it weathered the windstorm.
Sure did.
Yeah. You guys had that sucker down, right? That was good.
That's it for the park.
What are you gonna bring about this?
So the tree's coming in tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have, the tree's going to somebody that has animals and, they're gonna eat the tree.
Pretty sugar, goats, and we did submit all the dates for this coming year for the park board.
And I've already put that in paper, so we're good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think the only you, man.
Okay. Utility contractor, review map, both plants are running as they should with no violations. Total gallons pumped for December, 766,000, billed was 609,050. Legal loss of 156,950 or 20%. The north well has been repaired. Items for 26 that need to be completed is a validated water loss audit with AWWA. We have to do that every even numbered year for the odd years. This is due by August of this year, and Troy and I work on that, and then we'll have Sherry validate it. We will also be doing home inspections for sump pumps this spring. He's already talked to her about getting a list together. We will work with customers that have basements to make sure the sump pumps are not connected to the sanitary sewers. Areas for consideration for water loss, we did have 3 leaks this past month. And one thing Troy said too is with the water tower, when it fills up, it's going to that water tower meter. So I don't know if that's also being taken into consideration for gallons lost. So, okay.
So we have the new, that report doesn't include what we did with the, meters, right? Okay, so maybe not the meter fixed, but this next one should show the meter.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, better.
Krista said there's, Congress didn't have anything to report.
Okay, you didn't have anything to report, Keith?
No.
Okay.
For December, for service requests, four service requests were done, no poles were installed in December, and there were no emergency outages. And they said part of the work too is they are, I would say about 75% done north of town.
The commissioner's report, I talked to Mike Adams, they're, probably gonna cut the power sometime in February. The way it looks right now, the plan is to cut it like 10 o'clock on Sunday night, or maybe at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, 4 o'clock Sunday morning, depending on weather conditions. And everybody be notified as much as possible before that happens. Nothing else. I haven't had another info meeting. Last time I was there, I complained about making sure they build the grid firm enough so we don't have any outages. As I said, our main problem is the peak energy. About it.
When was that, Jim, Saturday night?
And we don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it's one of those deals, we'll let you know.
They're tentative plan, they'll be over the weekend.
Sometime in February, over weekend. Big thing is the marathon station shuts down at 10 o'clock at night. Once the marathon station shuts down, and then we'll get it done before 4 o'clock in the morning. And maybe quicker than that, they don't know. And what Mike said, that we have to make sure everything gets shut off, everything gets transferred over before they start firing back up. You have to verify everything, every transfer is swapped over before they start firing back up. But shut everything down, then before they fire back up, and make sure everything's done. So it's gonna take, there's a crew here, and there's also a crew on the east side, and they're talking about another crew, I don't know where it's gonna be located, that ISC will have crews come in here and do this as quickly as possible. So they'll have more than just our guys, they'll have more guys.
He said all hands on deck.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, that's about all we got. Fire.
7 EMS, 3 motor vehicles, 1 cancel, 5 fires, 1 wrong address, and 2 persons in distress.
Please.
We had 6 runs last month. 2 of them were checked the welfare of dogs. So, I think that ended up going to Julia Hold. Julie has already been to both places. I don't see anything changing with that. We had 1 welfare check on a elderly subject during that snowstorm. He wasn't answering his phone. Jim had called me. Jim had received the call originally. I marked out to go check on him. He was fine. He just didn't hear his phone ringing. So, I went and spent about half an hour with him. He was there by himself. Once you go check on him, you need to spend a little time with him. Probably gonna have Dan add him to Dan's list. I would rather spend a half an hour with him than 2 hours waiting on the corner. So, and then I was starting to get bad feelings on this one.
That's why I sent you instead of me.
Yeah.
I didn't wanna go.
Yeah, so everything.
I don't wanna break into the house and find a dead body.
No. One of the runs was an extra patrol. I saw, next month there's an extra patrol. Clap down at Jamestown's been working overtime. There's an overtime grant to go sit at the bus stops. So, we didn't sign up for overtime, so he comes up to James, or Advance and does it. That was one of the runs, so right there's 4 of them. One of them was the damage to property when the truck backed into Rolling Doe. We made a police report on that. We've followed up with video and stuff. The company that did it is jacking with Kyle a little bit on it. They're starting to jack with me a little bit. They haven't given me the name of the driver. So I'm gonna have to start pushing a little, and we may end up sending a hit and run information. We have a witness that came forward and got a witness statement from him. I've sent him copies of the witness statement to the company that was involved. If they don't come through here, we're gonna file charges. So, it's a silly accident. I don't know why they don't want to follow through. I don't know if they think they're out here in Kodak, town, and the police aren't gonna follow through, but that's not gonna happen. And then the last run, we have a new officer that moved over on Walnut Street, Lebanon Officer Hosfield. He's a nephew of Howard's, from Howard's Lawn and Garden, and Howard's brother now lives in town here in the brick house over on. Yeah, so he's a great guy. His police car must have broke down. He had to have another officer give him a ride home, and they marked out as a run. So we ended up with a run in advance. Yeah. Well, you think about it, the sheriff deputy gave him a ride home. He had to mark out so he wouldn't get another run while he was giving him a ride home. And so, nothing serious other than the run at Rolling Doe. Rolling Doe was the accident was our 11th run, the 11th report. We had 3 reports last year. It ended up, we had to issue a second run number because our reserves and training took the run. They wouldn't let us, they weren't able to do the report. So we had to issue another run through Sean or I, and they had to do the reports under our number. So we got 3 report numbers that weren't used. So we really only had 8 reports last year, the whole year. The ammo that we bought, I went and picked up, it came in, we have it in stock now. We should be good for ammo for 2 or 3 years, we can stretch it to 3 years for our training. The training stuff's getting kind of silly. They used to give us some leeway on our training. Now on January 1st, I have to suspend anybody's police powers that didn't get their training done by January 1st. So at the end of the year, I had to spend a lot of time. Police one, who we do use to do some of our online training, wasn't reporting John or I's training. So I had to send some emails and get them to report our training to the training academy. Dan wasn't able to do 4 hours of our defensive tactics training. I had to put him on light duty until he does it. So instead of suspending Dan's police powers, I put him on light duty. 20 years ago, Dan was hit working for the state and got hit by a car. And he has trouble with his hips sometimes. So he wasn't able to do the training that we did. The defensive tactics is kicking and shoving and smacking and tasing and all that kind of stuff, and Dan wasn't able to do it. We waited to the last 2 weeks of the year to do the training. We tried to do it earlier. The Lebanon officer does our training, wasn't able to do it till then. So that's why we waited so long. So I need to schedule our next training for next year right away so Dan can go to it. Because currently right now, I had to list Dan at the training academy as light duty. So he won't be able to do the food pantry next week. So we'll have to, he can't do anything while he's on light duty. So we're gonna try to get that done as soon as possible. The GED program is back and going. Eric, the kid that's on he's a explorer, I guess, on the fire department. Yeah, for lack of a better term. He's pretty autistic and didn't graduate from high school. He informed me he passed his science, so if we can help him get his GED, he works at Kroger as a bag boy. He's a nice kid. He did ask me what he had to do to carry a gun, and I said no. He texts me almost every day. He wanted to know how long a knife he could carry legally. He asked me questions like that. I keep telling him, say, firemen don't need guns, so don't carry a gun here. So, but it's interesting, the questions he asked me. WHAM is, we're kind of changing our focus on WHAM. I'm now back as the president of WHAM. So Linda can free Linda up to do the stuff that she needs to do with the food pantry. So I'm more involved than I was in the past. I don't know if you guys have figured it out. I'm kind of an idea guy, and I try to get people involved, and then I kind of let them run their programs. So I'm back involved. I'm pretty excited. I think everybody else is excited. We're not doing any homework help at WHAM anymore. The kids are all doing their homework.
That's good.
Yes, it is good. So we've moved towards where today we bought a 3D printer.
Nice.
And we're trying to do things like that more than we were doing with the homework stuff. So we graduated to that. One of the things we're gonna do this week is, we wanna try to teach kids how to shake hands and how to look people in the eye and do that kind of stuff. Things that, I bought a book that's kind of interesting. It's 101 Things Kids Need to Know. And we're gonna try to do more of those kind of things, with 3D printing. And Susie's gonna, instead of us cooking for the kids, we're gonna teach the kids how to cook. And we're gonna do those kind of, more life skills kind of stuff.
Nice.
Signatures would be a good thing.
Yeah,
I do not know how to, it's crazy.
yeah, so I think our volunteers are really excited about doing it. And we're gonna start doing more of those kind of things in schoolwork. If they need to do the schoolwork, we'll be able to do it. And one thing that I wanna reach out to Andrea with is my next idea that I've wanted to do is I wanna start a program, and Chris Lichner, he's a reserve down at Jamestown. He used to be involved with the sheriff's department. Him and Nielsen kind of got sideways and he left. So Chris is a very smart guy. And one of the things I wanna do now to take the GED program a little farther is I started working on training, leadership training with people that have jobs to help them get promoted at their work. And Chris is pretty excited. He wants to help with that. I want to talk with Andrea from the EDC about helping us with that, but we want to start doing some training like that where once these guys get their GEDs, get good jobs, we start doing things on how to write your resumes and how to write applications for jobs and how to try to do better at that. And once they get a job, start doing some leadership kind of training on how to help them get promoted and get better jobs once they get a job. So that's the next project that I want to start working on and start working on that, so. But other than that, I didn't share, you guys have copies of the mileage from the vehicles? I forgot to bring it with me.
Oh, yeah, I wrote it down.
I wrote it on their pages. Yeah. I wrote it down.
And I guess we sold the Tahoe, I guess we still gotta work on selling that.
Yes, I was gonna ask you, I sent you a Carla email to can you get the pictures?
Yes.
And tomorrow might be good since it's supposed to be nice, right? It's supposed to be nice tomorrow.
Well, I was so impressed with the government deals thing, I bought a van on government on there. And Dan's taking me to Columbus, Ohio to pick it up. So I'll be gone part of the day picking a van up. We bought it from the state of Ohio.
So, yeah, as long as we can get this, I'm excited to get this going.
Yeah, so we'll start working on getting the F-150 this.
So we're getting that one too, Jim.
Yep.
Other than that, I think that's it I have.
Okay, move on. Chromecast full attachments update.
It's a,
Amy's working with Comcast and they're just kind of dragging their feet. And we met with the other day and I said, Amy, tell them they need to pick up the pace. We're tired of messing with them, screwing around. They gotta get it done. When I talked to and Comcast is talking to our engineer and they're planning on doing the upgrades to the facilities in 26, but until they give us money, we can't do anything. And I don't know if they're holding up for the full attachments or they're just waiting. We don't need the full attachments to start doing the upgrades. Because the only problem is that we're okay with most of the stuff. They just want us to do some stuff that we don't want to do. They want us to do some negotiating on everything, and we're saying, no, you do. There's too many attachments on the whole. They want us to do the negotiating on the attachment. Whatever, we don't care. But just figure it out yourself.
I got a question on that. With the RMC ran the fiber optics through town.
Doesn't mean anything.
No, but I've heard that they are trying to find a company to come and run the trunks to the house. Does anybody know anything
No, I
about
don't
that?
know anything about that. Last time we talked to them, that line was just for them to use for their facilities.
Just
For their monitoring and switching and stuff they do for their stuff.
The hotspot they put on active, but they have it turned down so that it doesn't reach very far.
That was original anyhow. They didn't want it to go much past, land.
It doesn't reach WHAM and Rolling Dough and a Jawbone can't use it. Now, I know that Joey was in the apartment, when he was in the apartment there, he was getting on it and he could watch movies with it. But right now, that's all the far as that went.
I don't know. That was just a preview, but they wanted, I don't know what they're doing with it, what they're going to do with it. We just have to wait and see. But if somebody wants to push the issue about what's not working.
We're hoping that the company will come in and build off of it and then search the whole town. And there's
Comcast comes through, they will. That's the deal, Comcast will come through, put fiber through the whole town, going from Jamestown to Thorntown.
Yep.
That's the plan. There's also a Spectrum is kind of touch base with us, they haven't went very far, but there's another one that's going all around the county and putting in fiber. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Just wait and see what happens.
All that stuff they're doing on 500 West is fiber.
Yes. That's Spectrum.
Yeah, so, I don't know, we need to do something at Wham, so we kinda had a conversation about if they're not gonna do something soon here, we'll go to Starlink. So at Old Union, we went to Starlink and it works great. We've been having.
We got the upgraded service, and we're getting 300 plus.
And that's through Starlink?
No, that's through
I like
Highlands.
Highlands, yeah.
And we're getting,
it.
we're getting 300 plus.
Well, Highlands kind of messed with us a little bit, job, but we finally got that worked out.
No, we had some problems with it originally, but we got that fixed in this year.
They wanted to tell us the problems we were having were us, and I spent a lot of money paying some other people to look at it, and it ended up being Highlands' problem, so.
Had a meeting with them a while back and they fixed the problems for us here.
Yeah, they've had a knot jerked in their tail from somebody.
It come from me. That I guarantee. You look at your chicken head. Anyhow, engagement with bids for the water sewer territory. This water sewer territory, talking to the utility people, it's gonna take probably, I'm guessing, estimate about 18 months for us to get that, okay, completed. That's gonna cost between $30,000 and $50,000. The problem is, that's a project we need to do for the future to keep anybody else from eating us alive, but right now, Lebanon wants to go further to 400 north and 150 south on 75. Our master plan calls for us to have most of that territory from 700 west to State Road 32. When we talked to the company, said what we need to do is talk to Jamestown and to Lebanon to see what they want to do to make sure we're not interfering with our future plans. If we get all that done and agree to, we get through it pretty quickly and not very costly. It won't cost us a lot. If we have to get into an argument, legal fees, it could cost $100,000. I'm not willing to do that. I'd say kind of, but I'm not gonna argue over a little bit of territory for that much money. If we get it done cheap, it's something we should do because that's where we need to be for the future. Can I get a motion to approve the engagement contract for Denton?
And it's $8.50 an hour plus additional fees, additional services, just, I need to have that.
That's okay. There's a lot of interest in charge. More we can do to keep them charging hours, they suggested that, the district we have now show details on water and sewer. We take the details out and just put the area in. And so Jerry could probably do that pretty quickly. Just look at these maps and clean them up. Any problems, any questions? Any motion to approve the contract?
And I will say on behalf of the gentleman that this engagement is with, he's been doing this for 30 years and has extensive work with IURC, which is who this has to go through.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
On fair say aye. Aye. Okay. One other thing. It's supposed to be on the agenda. ongoing disputes, nobody's got a request to speak, the sheriff's supposed to put me on the agenda.
I had it on there and forgot to say.
You're fired. She screwed up, I'm begging her to put me on there, she wouldn't do it.
That's all.
Hang on. Couple of things, this coming year, I'd like to see us to complete a lot of projects that we've had hanging with, Sherry's already talked about, the, sump pumps, the, we need to recodify, and Sherry's pushing the, record, cleanup, very, the record for cleanup, what, should it be done, what, 60 days or less?
I'm hoping, yes.
60 days record will finally be cleaned up, and we take all the, codes and stuff like that, and send that forward and say, a lot of them don't apply anymore because they're so old, and give us a good, record of what our ordinances and things are. The other thing I asked these people, I should say, stepping back, is I asked them to make sure that when we, get this district, that we get a bulletproof agreement or ordinance that nobody else can come in unless they pay for what they do. In other words, if you want to come in and make a plan in with sewer and water, then you pay for everything else. That's what we did with Smith, and plus a bunch of money for him to get the upgraded facilities he wanted, that he paid for. And I agree, I just want to make sure we get one that's bulletproof, so nobody can come in and say, well, you know, we're gonna sue you because we think you gotta pay for it. We're not paying. Just wanna make sure that happens. Well, the other thing is, I think we need to have an ordinance for, I think it's called the door, Brad?
Oh, designated outdoor refreshment
Oh,
area.
right.
Get a door going, because Kyle and Brad talked about possibly serving alcohol in his outside area. Now, that's up to them whether they do that or not, but if we have a door ordinance, they can do what they want to do with the alcohol outside.
Has to be in a specific area.
I think you guys have to designate an area.
We do.
Let's see what it is. No.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it if I was there and set up a picnic table, start drinking in front of your.
Ours are Monday.
I think that would be nice if you want to be outside with it.
And I don't think it's a problem until it's being sold.
I mean, the thing is, we can do designated area, and it would probably be in a very big area, right back to where your picnic tables are, or maybe on the sidewalk in front of both their places. But that would be about it. We don't need to have, alcohol being served everywhere in Advance. People's houses. So I think that's one thing we need to have.
I think that'd be great, and then it would also be amended in the future. As we work.
That's good. Because we have more restaurants.
I will put that on Amy's agenda.
It would probably help us rent that area out there for rehearsal dinners and those kind of things.
One of the things, you don't have to necessarily have, for you to have an alcohol license, you just have someone that's licensed to serve the alcohol. So if he releases off that area back there, and we have a door in place, and they take on the liability, they take the responsibility for the alcohol.
We can't sell alcohol till I retire, so we can't apply to it. So if Kyle's got a license,
Is it conflict?
Because
it's against law in Indiana for police to liquor license, so.
Don't those door areas have to be a little bit closer to the building, like right on? That's kind of far away.
For the picnic table?
Well, where Brad's place is and where the pizza place is, it's
That property right behind Brad's, that's got the picnic table.
because most of them are right there in front of the buildings, on the sidewalk.
I don't think that's a problem. It's not gonna be a problem. And you got a question?
He's hungry.
Yeah, that little grassy area beside our place where the stairs come down,
Yeah.
half of that area is Kyle's.
Okay.
So, and half of it's mine, so it'd be literally steps from Kyle's property.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Oh, did you have something else to say?
No, I just wanted to go right in, we've already covered everything else that's been talked about.
Okay.
The sewer and water, that kind of stuff, and I just want to bring that door up because that's something we need to do, I believe.
Yeah, if everybody starts thinking about it, because we want to do something for the 250th, US anniversary.
Yep.
I'll second.
All fair say aye. Brad?
That meeting is tomorrow night, right?
Yes, tomorrow night, 7:00.
Yes, I'll be back by then.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of stuff that I've already accomplished. And list of vendors or some sponsors I've already contacted, and I got some that I haven't contacted yet, but we'll work on that, okay? And the order shutting the street down, I got on the